That's a clown question, bro.
Hi, what's up on you?
So I'm gonna kick some dirt.
He gets on base.
Just a bit outside.
I'm not the type of player that's going to be Johnny Hustle.
If you don't want me to watch the ball, you can go get it out of the ocean.
And welcome to the show to be named later, where we're talking baseball kind of whenever. I am your host, Chris Gianta. Over there on the other side of the screen is Daniel Curran. How you doing, Daniel?
Chris, it's been an interesting week of baseball. Oh, and there goes to deep left field Nick Castellanos, and that's going to be a home run to make it 4-0 Reds. It's been an interesting week in baseball. A lot of news regarding some off the field / on the field stuff, but it's going to be a good one today.
Yeah, interesting week of baseball. Lots of social media moments, I would say, throughout the week. Yeah, big week for social media and baseball, and kind of where the game stands today. And I guess we could just get right into it. On Monday night, Fernando Tatis Jr. has the audacity to try and win a baseball game. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I can't believe we're still having this conversation in 2020.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, I didn't know it was an unwritten rule. I thought
No.
there was some more. I thought the unwritten rule people had more cojones than that. You can't a 3-0 pitch, you can't swing at a 3-0 pitch. I understand, and I was watching. There was a clip from Christopher Russo where he said. So he was saying I kind of understood where he was coming from. So I would understand if the Padres coach is mad, or maybe his teammates are mad that he missed a sign, because you don't want to miss signs. That's not what you want to do. But the other manager being mad because it's disrespectful. It's not like a 3-0 count just randomly happened. That was produced by the pitcher, and Fernando Tatis Jr. decided to swing at the first pitch that was a strike. I mean, is he allowed to swing at the first pitch? I don't know. It's just I don't understand it coming from Chris Woodward's point of view. Maybe Jace Tingler's point of view, because I would be mad at anybody who missed a sign, even though it worked out for him. But still, it's pretty bad.
And what I don't understand is if you're gonna, the take sign shouldn't go to Fernando Tatis Jr., Chris. He's the best hitter in the league right now. If you're gonna give it to anybody in all of baseball, the green light that is, you got to give it to Fernando Tatis. And guess what? He gives him. The pitcher gave him a 3-0 heater, right down Broadway. Of course, he's gonna take that to the opposite field on a line. If it was like your backup catcher who's hitting 070 and he ignores the take sign and tries to be a hero, then sure, maybe there's reason to be upset there. But there's no reason to be upset about Fernando Tatis Jr., who's already marketing the entire San Diego Padres on his own. Doing that, it makes no sense.
Yeah, this is where, for me, the unwritten rules definitely cross the line, because I understand.
They already have.
I understand where, if you're up by 10 runs, I guess you don't steal bases. I can understand that. But it's a 7-run game. Are you just supposed to let good strikes go by?
Yeah.
Also, it's a 7-run game. There's the Rangers have 6 outs to play with. We've seen comebacks like that. So
just a few days before, when the Padres were playing the Diamondbacks, they allowed 6 runs over 2 innings. That just happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And you can't expect it's not like I don't know, it's not like football where the team's up by 4 touchdowns and there's 5 minutes to go. Obviously there's not going to be competition at the end, but there's no clock in baseball. You have to earn all 6 of those outs, and sometimes they come by harder than they usually do. And yeah, I mean, it's if Fernando Tatis Jr. is not allowed to swing there, then the Rangers are not allowed to come back in that game because under these silly circumstances, these are the rules we're playing by.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. There is no running up the score in baseball. Like, not running up the score is like intentionally, not swinging and trying to be bad, which is doesn't work like that. You still got to try and hit the ball. Like, you got to do the bare minimum, which is hitting the ball. And guess what? Fernando Tatis Jr. tried to hit the ball, and because he's so good, he hit it on a line over the fence in right field.
Yeah, and if you want to you can do mental gymnastics with this. It's almost more disrespectful to just take strikes back down the middle. It's saying, oh, these guys probably aren't going to come back.
Yeah, and one thing I like to think back to is, I'm going to go back to the labor negotiations for a second here, Chris. All these, the demographic of the people that follow the unwritten rules, what are they? How old are they? What do they look like?
They're usually at least 50 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Those people during the labor negotiations, who are they siding with?
They were siding with the owners.
Correct. And one of their main arguments was that, these players are getting paid to play a kid's game. They shouldn't be complaining about salaries. If they're getting paid to be a kid's game, being paid to play a kid's game, let them have fun playing a kid's game. Isn't it the whole point?
Yeah, I mean, I just, like, this is where I feel like it, when I saw this, I thought it was being made up out of thin air. I know other unwritten rules, but I had no idea that 3-0 pitches when the game was kind of a blowout. I didn't know that was a rule.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And it's not even that much. Like, if it's like 20-7, like, okay, I guess I get it. Like 20 to, if it's like a double-digit run lead in the ninth inning, it's like, all right, maybe we tone it down a little bit. But like, the game is still somewhat within reach. Like, Fernando Tatis Jr. put the nail in the coffin with that swing.
Yeah, I think what Chris Woodward needs to do, I think he needs to watch Rangers Orioles in 2007 30-3 game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't there, but not only that, but the Rangers last year, do you remember what they did with Mike Minor's 200th strikeout?
Yeah, they let a pop-up go down.
Yeah. And guess what? That's the same manager, same coaching staff.
Yeah, and
like 30-3. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't even mean to make the Rangers connection, but it is funny. But like a 30-3 game, you don't let off the brakes. I mean, it's not like you're stealing bases. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, what do you do? Like, what do you want them to do? You're hitting the ball, and I'm happening to hit it where they are. And do you want me to just intentionally make a base running out? No, of course not.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's some of the softest stuff, maybe the softest thing I've seen in baseball thus far in my life.
Jeff Passan put it perfectly. He put out a tweet the next day that said, "The unwritten rules are unwritten because if they were written, we would realize how stupid they are."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe, like, we're talking about marketing the game and marketing our players. You can't do that, but then make sure Fernando Tatis Jr. doesn't swing at this 3-0 heater and line it into right field in one of the toughest ballparks to hit in so far this year. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's insane. It's very insane.
Also, Johnny Bench, I didn't know he had Twitter before he put out that tweet. Did you have any idea that Johnny Bench had Twitter?
No, it is funny because anytime sometimes the MLB will tweet out like a historical statistic and they'll like tag like a player. This happened with Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron has a Twitter. I had no idea Hank Aaron had Twitter.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Bench, he's like, well, then, you don't want to take 3-0 because then if he comes back with a 3-1 pitch, you take that. And then what if he makes a good pitch to make it 3-2 and then you strike out? And none of that happens.
Yeah, exactly. And and what if it's 10-3, bottom of the 8th, the Rangers get a rally and they tie the game or win the game.
By the way, like, for the most part, I've never really seen anyone else outside of Jace Tingler, Chris Woodward, and like Eric Hosmer, like, siding with the unwritten rules. Like I've not seen one Rangers player come out and be like, yeah, what Fernando Tatis did was disrespectful. Like I've not seen that at all.
Yeah, and also, if you have a problem with Fernando Tatis Jr., you can't be throwing at Manny Machado.
Yeah.
If there's one spot to not throw at Manny Machado, that's the spot.
He's given us plenty of opportunities to want to throw at him during his career. That's not one of them.
Yeah, and if you had, I mean, it's not like the Rangers still had a whole series with the Padres coming up. They could have gotten Tatis Jr.
Yeah.
For stupid reasons, but they could have gotten him later in the series. And I don't know why they chose to go right after Manny Machado.
And guess what? You gave Manny Machado time to get his revenge. Did you see last night he hit a walk-off grand slam?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome. He cranked it.
Yeah, it was a wonderful display. I mean, yeah, and the Padres have hit 2 grand slams since that grand slam, which is hilarious.
Yep. Yeah, because who hit the other one?
Will Myers.
Will Myers did. Will Myers hit one the next day.
Yeah, it's quite insane. But yeah, that's kind of our who I think Chris Woodward and the guy on the mound got suspended for this.
I think was it Nicasio that was on the mound?
I'm not sure. Whoever's on the mound in a 10-3 ball game.
I'm gonna look up who was on the mound during that time real quick. Yeah, I think it wasn't Juan Nicasio. Oh no. All right, Ian Gilbert. Ian Gilbert. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Came in right after Fernando Tatis Jr. hit the grand slam, and then he impromptu threw at Machado, the very first pitch.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a different guy. So he probably
that's kind of cheap. So that's two different. Ian Gilbert. I think that's how to pronounce it.
Maybe
Nicasio gave the grand slam and then left.
Maybe he got a message from Chris Woodward there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is ridiculous.
Dumb. Ban the unwritten rules.
That's how we feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we introduce the audience to a new segment, and this is probably going to continue because why wouldn't it continue? So we've got This Week in Trevor Bauer. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So the Reds, obviously, they had some time off due to a positive COVID test. But last night, they made their return and faced the Kansas City Royals in a doubleheader. And, it was an eventful day, but we'll get into that later on. But Trevor Bauer, he was worried. I don't know if you've been watching his vlogs, but he was worried about the next time he was going to make a start, if he was going to be, ready for it because of the time that he was going to have off. And I think he was fine. Last night did an incredible job. I'm trying to find the game here. First of all, he won the game, complete game, 7-inning shutout, 1 hit allowed, no runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, got his ERA down to 0.68, which is dominant. But after the game, and actually before the game, there was a video when he was warming up with someone with a target over the Kauffman Stadium fountains that said "Send it, Trevor" or "Send it, Bauer" or something like that. I don't know. I'm assuming that was one of his guys that did that for the purpose of going viral. Because Bauer does this all for the intention of being viral, and good for him because no one else will do it, and I appreciate it. And then after he completes the shutout, he takes off his jersey and reveals a T-shirt with the crown that says "Send it," and it's a picture of Bauer chucking the ball over the wall from last year because that was the last time he started a game there.
Yeah, I think it was the Royals mascot actually that had the target.
Oh, nice. Also, the free Joe Kelly cleats. Trevor Bauer revealed these cleats before the game that he was going to wear. One of them was Joe Kelly making that face with his tongue out at the Astros. The other one said "Free Joe Kelly." He put him on Twitter and Instagram, and the league told him if he wears those cleats, he's gonna get suspended, fined, and ejected from the game, which is ridiculous because Joe Kelly, well, first of all, Joe Kelly, I mean, everyone agrees he should be freed. Second of all, Trevor Bauer acknowledged the league's cleat policy before his start and said, the MLB said, as long as it's not political and as long as it doesn't send a negative message, it's fair game. Free Joe Kelly is not political. I don't think it is. I don't see him running for president. I don't see him making any sort of statements. And it's not a negative message if every player agrees with it. So Rob Manfred, as he said, so he sent out a list of tweets last night after the start. He said, for everyone wondering why I didn't wear the cleats tonight, MLB threatened to eject me and suspend me and levy unprecedented fines against me if I did. I couldn't put my teammates at risk like that, which I have a lot of respect for. Like, he's talked about how he's had to have teammates make impromptu starts because he wasn't feeling healthy and had them have their careers end because they got lit up. So he didn't want to put his teammates under the bus, so he had to sacrifice the cleats. Earlier this year, MLB said players could put whatever they wanted on their cleats so long as they weren't political or offensive. Apparently, Rob is not a fan of players following his rules, as Free Joe Kelly is not political and very clearly said in jest. Just leaves me over here wondering how the following rules equal ejection/suspension/fine, and cheating your way to a World Series equals no suspension/ejection/fine. You all really know how to pick your battles. Lesson learned though. Fun is bad, cheating is good. We'll make that same mistake twice. Can promise you that. And that is This Week in Trevor Bauer. Do you have any thoughts?
One other thing. He had a little duel with Scott Boras over the week.
Oh yes, he did have that duel. Do you want to get into that?
Yeah. So the Reds outbreak, quote unquote outbreak happens. It didn't really end up being anything, luckily.
Thank God.
And Ken Rosenthal tweeted out that there was the positive test, and then Bauer, after the news comes out, promptly promotes his vlog as one should. If you're trying to, grow the vlog, grow the game. And Scott Boras had some of his clients, some of the players in the league that are associated with Boras, he had them call and text Trevor Bauer to stop doing the vlog, and threatening to shut down the vlog with the MLB Players Association, because Scott Boras thought he was trying to be a reporter with his social media and with his vlog, even though when Bauer tweeted out that he was going to show people what it was like to when Bauer said that he was going to show people what it was like to have a team go through an outbreak, that was after Ken Rosenthal tweeted out the news. So he was completely false there. I would recommend watching Trevor Bauer's vlog. I think it was the 10th vlog where he went after Scott Boras. It's not safe for work, so I can't play it. I can't play it on here. And it was a beef, and I think the vlog goes on. I think Trevor Bauer knows infinitely more about how the Players Association and how social media works with that. So that was a very interesting beef that he had with Boras Corp.
It is crazy to me how many people are against what he's doing when he's made it very clear that he wants this for the betterment of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if it doesn't hit the regular baseball audience, the audience that likes the unwritten rules, but it's all about growing the game. It's all about, getting people our age to tune into the game. And I think it's huge. Honestly, I think it's huge for kind of high school baseball players and, anyone who kind of grew up playing the game, just to see what the operations are, behind the scenes in Major League Baseball, see what a professional pitcher does for his preparation. And also you add in the factor that it's a very unusual season. Everyone's getting tested. You get to see what the testing is like. You get to see how the protocols are being followed. I mean, if you're a Reds player, you kind of have to follow the protocols because there's a camera around recording everything you do pretty much.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, how long have we been saying, like, the average age of a baseball fan is 55 years old? Why, like, it's there for a reason, and guys like Trevor Bauer are going to try to take that down. Like, within 3 or 4 years, if it's in the 40s, like, we're making progress here. And what he's doing is so frowned upon for some reason, and I don't understand it, because he is trying to market the game, or he is trying to make it more popular amongst the younger demographic, and for some reason that's frowned upon.
Yeah, and what you're looking for are the viral moments, and Trevor Bauer is all about the viral moment. Anything that can, like, if he had the Freak Joe Kelly shoes last night, I mean, I can't imagine there would probably be some big jersey sales for the Reds. I mean, there'd be, and any viral moment. I mean, Manny Machado's grand slam from last night. That's a great moment. That's a moment that you want to market.
Mm-hmm.
It's you want those viral moments, and Trevor Bauer is going to give them to you.
That's right. By the way, he's doing really well for a contract year.
Yeah, he's doing insanely well. He's perfected the spin rate. I think there's been some articles on that. He's in the 100th percentile in fastball spin rate. He's, of course, even though he's in the 27th percentile in fastball velocity. Yeah. So the perceived velocity, I can't imagine it. It always, the fastball just looks like it's going up. He's pretty fun to watch. I would recommend if you have the extra innings package or the MLB.TV package, you got to watch him. He's kind of must-watch television right now.
He really is, and I'm kind of excited to see what he does with the vlog, if he does anything like during the free agency process.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine he's like, all right, guys, I just got out of my meeting with the Reds. They offered me as so and so.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much information he can disclose.
He can disclose probably not a lot. I think he can give hints though. Maybe he's like, I'm leaning this way, but this side's got that, and I'm looking at this. They got this clause in the contract that I like, but I want them to get rid of this. Like if he can do that, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the more he does with the vlog, the better.
Yeah,
is how I see it. I mean, yeah, I don't really care about any.
Imagine if he breaks his own news, like LeBron James did when he went back to Cleveland.
Yeah, if he was just on MLB Network or something like that.
He's like, hey guys, guess what? I just re-signed with the Reds, 4 years, $80 million.
Yeah. Well, Trevor Bauer is not the only news happening with the Reds as of late. Their play-by-play announcer, Thom Brennaman, probably not going to be working for much longer, at least with the Reds.
Yeah. This was, I'm sure most of you have seen this viral clip going around Twitter, maybe Instagram. He had a hot mic moment. And we all have them. Like I had one last year with my friend Nico, who was on the last show this year at Springfield. Luckily it wasn't nearly as bad as this one, but he used a slur, a homophobic slur that you can't be using that word you can't be using that word at all, regardless of what placement you're in today or any day, really. And yeah, I mean, you can't be saying that, and you especially cannot be saying it if you're close to a mic, regardless of if you think it's on or not.
Oh yeah, and he was really cutting it close too, because it was
He emphasized that.
it was it was seconds before he thought the commercial break was going to end.
Yep.
If he's going, if if you ever wanted to, you have to put it in like maybe 30 seconds into the commercial break. You can't have it 5 seconds before you're about to go on air, which I wonder if he's ever cut it that close before.
I mean, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people sort of. I mean, Kurt Schilling, like what came to defend him on Twitter, which is, I mean, I guess I'm not really surprised, but like he was. Hold on, let me pull up Schilling's tweet. What did he say here? It was in response to a passing tweet explaining the whole thing. Like, why can't Kurt Schilling shut his mouth just for one until he gets into the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. He's stopped caring.
What are we doing here? Like, you're at 70%. You got one more year to just wait on it just a little bit. But no, we can't. Okay, he said, in today's cancel culture, I am expecting an insane overreaction to this mistake. I can tell you that Thom Brennaman is one of the nicest and most thoughtful men I have known. His father is the very same. I mean, what are we doing? Like, you can't be defending this guy right now.
What I will say is, like, okay, if you're saying that on a hot mic right before commercial break, you might not be qualified for the job. But
Thank you.
I would be surprised if Thom Brennaman was hateful at all or anything. I mean, I haven't heard about any negative experiences with the person. I don't think because he dropped that slur, I don't think he's a hateful guy, but he had that moment, and I don't know if you can put a guy back on air, especially such a family friendly program, such a family friendly, entertainment venue. I don't know if you can put him back on after that. But I think that's just the business. I don't know, if Thom Brennaman might be a great guy. I think it's still very possible he's a great guy, even with this mishap. I think that's what a lot of people misunderstand about this. He's not evil because he had one mistake, but I understand if you don't want to put him back on the television for the Reds.
Yeah. I mean, one sort of take that I had, like, if you go back and watch the replay, he really emphasized, the word. And if you have no problem, like, saying that word, like assuming you're, assuming you're off the mic and then no one will hear it, it probably, like, speaks to your character. Like, it's like, if you're gonna say that word, especially in a professional setting around all your colleagues, like, if you're just gonna throw that word around, as emphasized as he did, chances are you have no problem saying it, and in any other scenario where you don't have a mic on you.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen. You don't just say that on accident,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't I can't speak. I feel like, if Thom Brennaman and
And I can't speak to knowing him either.
If Thom Brennaman and you had bad experiences with him similar to this, then you're probably feeling very vindicated right now. And if he's been a very good guy, maybe you're finding something out about him, or you're thinking, I don't know, it was a bad slip. I don't know. I don't know what the culture is over there, but he seemed to have some free reign, I guess. I'm not sure.
I think, minimum, you should probably, like, kick him out for the rest of the season. Like, I don't see why you should be calling another Reds game this year. It's not like he has to wait too long. There's a little over a month left in the regular season. And we haven't even gotten to the apology, which we'll get into later. But I did some digging, and his dad, Marty Brennaman, well, first of all, he did the Reds games forever. Like, the very first Reds game that he ever broadcasted, Chris, Hank Aaron hit his 714th home run to tie Babe Ruth.
Wow.
Yeah, so that goes back to 1974, of course. He just retired last year, so that's what, 35 years in the booth. Am I doing that math? Is it 45 actually?
Yeah, 45.
74, yeah, I can't do math. 45 years in the booth. And he had a controversy, not nearly to that degree, but in 2007, Marty Brennaman was making a comment on an upcoming Reds road trip where they had to go out west to face the A's, the Mariners, and then go east to face the Phillies, and then come back home. And he compared it to the Baton Death March.
The
Which,
baton. I'm not sure what that is.
it was back in the 1940s. It was a horrific event. I'll just say that. People
in
died.
Europe.
I think the U.S. was involved. I just remember learning it briefly in like history class, but not something you want to just compare. Just want to throw out there. People were killed for no particular reason. I believe. I'd have to look more into it, but either way, he had to issue a public on-air apology after that, and that was 2007. So like this family, they have their history in the booth with those kinds of slip-ups.
Oof.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look, obviously. And I don't know Thom Brennaman as a character, but I mean the one thing is if he emphasized that word as heavily as he did, it probably gives me an indication that he has no problem saying it off the mic.
yeah, it's all about the business of it at this point. If Reds fans, if there's like a boycott, then it's better for Fox Sports Ohio to let him go.
Yeah.
If if he gets fired, I don't think any Reds
I don't
fans
think
are going to boycott or anything. Weren't
Yeah.
listening for Tom. They weren't watching for Thom Brennaman, although they might have enjoyed his commentary before. But yeah, interesting situation.
Yeah. And by the way, do you want to get into the apology now?
Yes.
So this was making the rounds last night. He was in the middle of making his apology during the game, and in the middle of it, Nick Castellanos goes deep, and he has to interrupt it in the middle of it, which is hilarious.
Yeah, maybe I might actually screen share this.
Yeah.
I'll go into the direct messages. But yeah, it's an objectively hilarious thing.
It was hilarious. And also the home run that Castellanos hit, if you look at the sign right above, it says judgment free zone.
Yeah, it's this and the the Padres hitting 2 grand slams in the past like 3 days are some of the funniest things that have happened in baseball. All right.
Yeah.
Or actually, I need to share the audio. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Share computer sound. All right.
I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to.
It's such a great transition.
It's so funny.
It's like I thank God for Nick Castellanos. Like that is the best moment he's ever provided in his time in the big leagues.
Yeah, it was it like sometimes the perfect moment happens, and
During the most unfortunate time.
that was the perfect
Also,
moment. But I think that's all we have on the Thom.
I mean,
Thom Brennaman
I mean,
situation.
the fact that he called himself a man of faith, like I don't, is anyone gonna believe that right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think the idea of faith is being accepting of all people, and the word he used is not accepting at all.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so some baseball news, some on the field baseball things going on. So the Tampa Bay Rays, they got off to a slow start, but
Yeah,
now
the Orioles.
they are on an absolute tear. They've won 10 of their last 11. They have just defeated the Yankees twice in a row. Their record against the Yankees this year is 5-1. They're looking incredibly good right now and a huge threat in the American League East.
Yeah, I mean they could take over first place tonight. They're facing James Paxton. They have Garrett. Who is it? Trevor Richards going tonight. I'm not sure if it's going to be as an opener or if he's going to actually pitch. But either way, I mean the Rays have one of the best bullpens in the league. I mean Chaz Rowe, he did look a little shaky last night, but he's got that slider. You have my guy Nick Anderson who came out in the eighth last night and struck out the 3 and 4 hitters in the Yankees lineup. And I get it. There is no LeMahieu. There is no Judge. There is no Stanton. I get it. I do. Go back to that series in Tampa where they took 3 of 4. They had all of them. I mean, I guess they didn't have Stanton for one of those games, but still, I mean, this team can compete with the Yankees with their healthy players. They absolutely can, and they got 2 off Garrett Cole last night as well.
Yeah, they're looking incredibly good. Yeah, the Yankees do seem to be feeling the absences of those guys right now, but I don't think that takes away from anything the Rays are doing. And the Rays are winning not only with their pitching, but also offensively. Since August 9th, they are leading all of baseball in weighted runs created plus and runs scored. They're
To be fair, they faced the Red Sox for 4 games as well.
Yeah, they did do that, but I mean a win is a win for sure. And they faced the Orioles, who have not been bad this year. And I mean, when you win 2 against the Yankees, that's always gonna show something about your club.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have anything else?
No, I think
Okay, that's fine.
this is probably the big. Yeah, this was probably the biggest turnaround of the past week and a half. Rays started off kind of stagnant, and now
The
they are.
Diamondbacks, they've won. They've won. They lost last night, but they had like a 5 or 6 game win streak, and they're almost 500 now.
Who?
The Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are hot again. They took 2 from the Oakland Athletics. They lost last night, but getting the reins on a team that was probably the most red hot team before this series, that's pretty big for the Diamondbacks.
So this transitions into our how about that's for the week or for the minute
Yes.
ago. And I guess I'll start because my first how about that is on the Rays. And you talked about that offense and how good they've been doing. And the leader of that offense is Brandon Lau. This guy finished 3rd in the AL Rookie of the Year voting last year. And he has been absolutely dominating. He's the AL leader in wins above replacement with 1.7, WOBA with a 473, and weighted runs created plus with a 211. And he is the MLB leader in slugging percentage with a 744. And also during the 10-1 stretch that the Rays are on, Brandon Lau is slashing 400, 478, 950, 1428 with 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 16 hits, 14 runs scored, and only 8 strikeouts and 5 walks. Also 1 grounded to double play. But Brandon Lau has been red hot, and he has been the leader of the Rays during this stretch.
Yes, Brandon Lau has been unbelievable. My how about that player of our Thursday episode, Thursday, August 20th episode. So last week you talked about an Oriole. I talked about the entire Orioles offense putting it together. And in the past 4 days, one man has given me reason to talk about the Orioles a little more. One particular Oriole, because they've kind of their production has kind of gone down as of late, but not Anthony Santander. Anthony Santander is on a 14-game hitting streak, and in the last 11 games, he's hit 7 home runs. Also in the last 11 games, he's hitting .378 with a 14.18 OPS. And I mentioned the 7 home runs. 6 out of 7 of those home runs have either tied the game or taken the lead.
How about that?
So these are no cheap home runs from Anthony Santander. And the downfall of the Orioles for the past few games have not been Anthony Santander's fault at all. He's been keeping them in the games, and he's been quite good for this team, even though the team has kind of dropped off as of late.
But hey, they got a 4-game home series against the Red Sox this weekend. So I mean, if they want to get hot again, now's the time.
Yeah.
So my second how about that player. This is a little weird for a guy that's a perennial superstar, but he has been absolutely crushing the ball. Anthony Rendon, for the Angels, has been tearing the cover off the ball. Over his last 9 games, he is slashing .469, .553, 1031, 1584 with 5 home runs, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Virtually all of his hits this year have been extra base hits. I'm going to get the numbers on that one, because seemingly every hit he has goes for extra bases, which is pretty awesome, because the Angels have needed him to step up. He started out a bit slow, but he has figured it out now. He has 19 hits, and 10 of them are for extra bases. So almost half of his hits are extra base hits. Love to see that. And also, 5 home runs, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts over those last 9 games. He leads the AL. The only thing stopping him from leading the AL in the entire quadruple slash line over that time is your guy, Anthony Santander, who is leading him in slugging percentage by just a little bit.
Wow, Anthony Santander.
Anthony Rendon has figured it out.
Yeah, Anthony Rendon. He's a guy, like, the team could have a 700 winning percentage or a 300 winning percentage. He's just going to go out there and play his game.
Since August 9th, his batting average has gone from 103 to 268, and his OPS from 569 to 1018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's Anthony Rendon.
How about that?
There's Anthony Rendon for you. Do you have any more how about that's?
I do not.
So that transitions from the highs to the lows. Now we're going to be doing some slightly alarming statistics, talking about players who have been doing pretty poorly this season, or at least in the past week or so. I'll start with a guy who was an all-star last year, kind of dropped off a little bit since then, and he's definitely dropped off this year for different reasons. I'm talking about Josh Bell. Josh Bell, he currently owns a 544 OPS, and I don't know if it's really that much of a small sample size anymore. They've played over 20 games, and he's got a 544 OPS. And it's not like he's really getting that unlucky. These are some really slightly alarming statistics here. So his strikeout percentage has yet to be above 20% in his career, but this year it is 32.9%.
Slightly alarming.
And his strikeout percentage this year is in the 11th percentile in the league, meaning that only 10% of the league strikes out at a higher rate than he does. And his whiff percentage, his swing and miss percentage, has gone from 25.3% in 2019 to 40.8% in 2020.
Slightly alarming.
Along with that, his whiff percentage on fastballs was never below. So his swing and miss percentage on fastballs was never below 20% in his entire career since 2016. Now his swing and miss percentage on fastballs is 37.3%.
Slightly alarming.
It's almost doubled this year. It's been pretty bad. And currently his zone contact rate, his contact rate on balls in the strike zone, it was never below 80% before this year. Now it is 69.5%.
Slightly alarming.
So he is swinging and missing at almost a third of baseballs he swings at inside the strike zone. Josh Bell not looking good right now.
Okay, so my slightly alarming player, when this guy is on, everyone will let you know that he's on. I mean, he is one of the most marketable players in baseball. In fact, he is actually this year's MLB The Show cover athlete, but he has not been doing so well this year, and I've heard virtually nothing. Javier Baez has been struggling it up there on the north side of Chicago, slashing 189, 237, 334, 582, which is not very good. Also a 167 ISO, I believe. Something like that. His ISO is not good. And from 2018 to 2019, he ranked 7th in Major League Baseball in extra base hits with 154. This year, he only has 8. The power numbers, I mentioned Anthony Rendon, having exuberant power numbers, like especially above everything else. Javier Baez, not at all. Nothing at all. His whiff, and virtually everything has gone up or down in accordance to what's good or bad. Obviously, he's always been a big strikeout guy. Last year, he had a strikeout percentage of 27.8%, which is not good. This year, it is 33%. A third of his strikeouts, or a third of his at-bats end in a strikeout, which is not good. Also, his hard hit percentage has gone from 43.6 to 38.2, so that's gone down. The expected batting average is not doing him much of a favor either. It's 226, which is it is better than his actual batting average, but not by much at all. His barrel percentage has gone from 12.7% to 9.1%. So that has gone down. And yeah, that's just about it. Javier Baez been swinging and missing a lot more and hasn't been hitting very well to make up for it.
Slightly alarming.
And surprising to see that the Cubs are still succeeding.
Yeah, Chris Bryant hasn't been doing that well either, and he just went down on the IL.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of good pitching from the Cubs. Yu Darvish, Kyle Hendricks. I think John Lester's doing well. So luckily for them, they still have the pitching. And yeah, I mean, yeah, who is anybody? Is anybody doing spectacular in that offense? Is like Kyle Schwarber doing well?
Ian Happ and Kyle Schwarber, you're both of our guys pretty much.
Yeah.
Ian Happ has been one of the best hitters in the league. He's been the best hitter in that offense for sure.
Yeah,
I will check that right now.
That's good to hear.
Happ, with that, and by the way, Yu Darvish, 1.80 ERA, pretty good.
Yeah, Yu Darvish is picking up right where he left off last year. He was one of the best pitchers in the game.
Right.
He was one of the best pitchers in the game in the second half last year, and I think a lot of people forgot about that. And yeah, this year he's doing absolutely amazing. But now we're going to. By
the way, hold on real quick. Ian Happ, 315 average with an 1109 OPS. So that's good.
Wow.
Jason Kipnis, 282 average with a 972 OPS. Pretty good. How about that?
Look at him coming back.
Yeah. You thought his career was over, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Generally everyone.
Well, now we get into our preview of the weekend of baseball ahead. I think we've got a pretty good weekend of baseball happening. I think there's a couple series to look at. I'm gonna one that I guess I'm looking forward to, but we're both looking forward to this one. Just looking at the calendar here, the Padres and Astros facing off. The Astros are on a 7-game win streak, and they're playing the Rockies today to try and sweep the Rockies and take the air out of those tires. And maybe the Astros, are they going to continue their momentum going to San Diego, or are we going to see San Diego, stop the train?
All right. I am looking at the crosstown Chicago series. Cubs and White Sox face each other this weekend. First of all, I mean, did you see the game last night? Casey Myers and Dane Dunning both made their debuts.
I watched part of it.
All right, they both did pretty well. I think they both left with 3 earned runs, above 5 innings, so very respectable. In the opener of this series on Friday, you got 2 of virtually the same pitcher going against each other: Dallas Keuchel versus John Lester.
Yeah, I believe Dennis Eckersley would say a lot of educated cheese going on in that game. A lot of fastballs not really getting above 90.
A lot of ground balls. 92. A lot of ground balls.
Yeah, a lot of cutters and sinkers going on there from the left side.
Saturday, you got Dylan Cease going against Kyle Hendricks.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Dylan Cease has been very underrated. He looks pretty good so far. And then Sunday, the White Sox have not announced their starter, but the Cubs are using Yu Darvish, which is very exciting because he is electric stuff. When did the White Sox last use Giolito? Because could it be him on Sunday? I'd love to see Giolito versus Darvish.
Yeah, some very good pitching matchups. Definitely the first 2, and then
I don't think so. Never mind. Okay, Giolito's going tonight. So now, I think it would be.
Yeah, he's going tonight. I think he's.
Gil Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, outside of Giolito, Keuchel, and Cease, it's kind of it can get. I mean, I don't know. Is Reynaldo Lopez still on the team?
He's not on the roster right now.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a weird one. On paper, that looks like a Cubs victory, but you never know. That's the game of baseball. But
exactly.
That closes out the episode.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoyed this one. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you want to watch us talk, go to our YouTube channel. It's called STBNL with Chris Gianta and Daniel Curran. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, follow me at Chris_Gianta. Follow Daniel at Daniel_Curran on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to follow the show Instagram, follow at STBNL Podcast. We've got the promotional videos there. I might be doing more Photoshop on there. At least with statistics, I've gotten a little lazy with that. But we'll get that back and running. So we hope you enjoyed our little midweek check-in on the world of baseball. Lots to talk about in this episode, and we hope to be talking to you. We hope you're listening to us on Monday, where we recap the weekend of baseball to come.